Hey, how we doing, people? Don't shoot the messenger. I've been plastering today, not a shower yet, but I thought it was. Let's come and have a chat with you, lovely lot, first, and then I'll go and have a shower a bit later. Look at my lovely cup. I'm just sat here drinking a coffee, thinking of you lot, and I looked at the cup and it says the word joy, Joy, and that's what you guys bring me in abundance. Lots of joy. Lots of joy. I hope you're all well. Hope life's treating you well. Hope the day's going good. Kent Police are out there again in force today with their speed cameras. They have a bit of money. They're obsessed. These people, and it's all for your own safety. We're doing this for your own safety. We've been there before in history with a country in Europe. The Uberschons, the Germans. Why are you doing it? Well, we're doing it for your safety. Oh, that's all right then. Okay, it's for my own safety. Oh, I didn't know that. We've been there before. So when the police are out there trying to justify why they're on the roads fining you, they're doing it because they're doing it for your own safety, ladies and gentlemen. And if you believe that, it's foolish. Absolutely foolish. All right, gorgeouses. Marshall Wade. All right, son. How's it going? Del boy. Hello, mate. It's like a snake catching a fish for his supper and he's caught it in his mouth. And the newspaper says a snake saves a fish from dying today. And that's how the media spin all this stuff, don't they? Gilmore. Happy Gilmore. Oh, well, what a great film. I love a bit of golf. I'm not a bad golfer myself. I got down to single digits, got down to 4 handicap. I did. And if I could have played more, I probably would have got down even lower. But I just never really had. I've always worked with my hands. And the girls have always said I'm good with my hands, not as though that's thingy. So anyway, I've entitled this one today Lockdown because I've been listening to radio today while I've had my trails out. And it looks like Boris is under the cosh. Boris don't look a very well man, in fairness. And it looks like that this lockdown nonsense is going to be ending pretty soon. The amount of businesses, we've got 70,000 people have been made homeless during this. And but the police are still out making all the fines. They're still out with their speed cameras. They're still out there with their AMPR cameras. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. But we're only doing it for your safety. I'd love to know the German words that the Nazis used for I'm only doing it for your own safety. They used a certain group of words, and I'm pretty sure some of you know about that. Beth Marshall, hello, darling. Sarah, you got to stay in joy, mate. You got to stay in joy. Let me tell you, because they're trying to break us, but they won't never break us. We're too strong a people, and let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever the system gets up to, and whatever the government gets up to. The people, the savvy people, will always be 10 streets ahead, right? I've heard on the radio today, Rich, that they're talking that seriously about ending it, but who knows? We seem to be very hardcore about telling people what to do and making them stay in, and the utter nonsense that people believe is beyond a joke. But it's up to them. If they want to believe it, they can believe it. It's not for me to say otherwise. But 70,000 people have been made homeless since 2019, since this lockdown. Many people are committing suicide. That's never mentioned. You're never going to hear about the homelessness on the BBC and ITV. Why not? Is it not critical that the God's honest truth? Is that not what the BBC and the Channel 4s are there for? Yeah, Brian Real got arrested, for being out campaigning. So it's not okay for him to be out, but it's okay for others to be out campaigning. Yes, it's all very, we're only here for your safety, Beth. Remember, they're the words that scare me the most when I hear government say, well, we're doing this for your safety. They really resonate through me and scare the shit out of me. Big time. Marshall Wade, I'm just doing my job, is another one that apparently removes people's moral responsibility. Yes, it does. Once you've got them Masonic chains around your head, you can do what you like. You can kill people and get away with it. Oh, yeah. And your buddies are going to back you up. Your buddies will back you up. Yeah, no, we see nothing, hear no evil, speak no evil, and talk no evil. It is there. I can't make it up, but it is. They're only doing it for your safety. But you'd think that the old bill would have time out, wouldn't you? You think that no one's hardly working, everyone's struggling, there's 70,000. You think that they'd be like, we best leave the people alone. But no, they're out there. They're still collecting, mate. They're still out there putting their hands in your pockets. My good God. And then people say, oh, but it's all for your safety. I'm like, really? Really? Okay. Well, if it's for your safety, why not teach people properly from teens and kids to respect life, that the rule of law, that you don't do over 30 because you're going to kill someone. And if you do kill them, you're going to be responsible for your own actions and you might have to face the consequences. I think that's a better way of doing things, really. But there's no education. Yeah, you'll learn 2 + 2, 3 + 3, 4 × 4. You'll learn all that. You'll learn about geography, that Chile's upside down and Australia's round the other end. But you won't learn any freaking life skills. You leave school as dumb as fuck. And you've really got to try and make it in the world. Why don't they teach life studies about this, about money, about this, about that? Why don't they teach it all? They don't. They want you to fail. They want you to fail. It's the same. When you get older, you're going to do a driving test. I need to know how to work this motor. Yeah, I do. Swear to God, I do. I need to make sure I know how to work this. So you go and do your little driving test. You pass your test. But what that examiner should turn around and tell you is that the minute that you sign the contract is that the bully boys in uniform might drag you out of a car at some point and smash the granny out of you and nick your motor. I'm someone, right? You might think it's uncanny. You might think it's a bit weird, but I'm someone that's come into this world, right? And we're in the world. This is God's kingdom and God owns everything. That's an immovable fact. That's just the truth. But I come into the world thinking that I was going to have a sweet time and I would kind of be in control of my own destiny. That I would do what I consider in the Bible morally right and wrong. And live by God's law. But no, you ain't allowed to have ownership and control over your cars, your kids, and your houses. No, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. No chance. You're not allowed to. And that's deception. That's deceiving you. Because all men are born equal. Every single one. The judge, the jury, the prosecutor, they're all equal. They're all equal, but some are more equal than others, right? Well, and we need to come out of this. We truly need to come out of this. Sorry about the I'm all over the place today. Sarah Ravi, lovely to see you. Bob Marley says KV. Yeah, big time. Big time. We took something that weren't ours, and boy, they like bashing us over the head for it. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're in public servitude, you should, regardless of someone's got paperwork to prove that car, you should just be there to make sure that everything's all right, that people are all right, that they're whole, they're wholesome. You should never be able to rob from them. You should never be able to put your hands in their pockets, because that's basically what it is. You go out on the road, they do you for thingy. Next thing, they're kicking your doors in because you ain't paid a fine of £1,000 or £600. Why have we got a government that wants to fine us? What? That's a government of destruction, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a government of goodness. That's evil wrongdoers. Their time's coming, man. Their time is coming. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this world's are changing very fast. Very, very fast indeed. But I've heard today on the radio that, this lockdown needs to end and that Boris is under a lot of pressure. 100,000 dead now from COVID. Well, do I believe that? No, I don't. Because I know, and I have verifiable facts, that people that have died of cancer and puking blood up and cancer into buckets all day long, that have died of cancer, that have passed out and fucking died of cancer, have a death certificate that says COVID-19 on it. And I'm not suggesting for 1 minute it ain't happening. It is happening. There is something out there that's attacking people's respiratory systems. It is. But is it a pandemic? No, I think it's a plandemic. I'm not suggesting it ain't happening. There are people with it. There are people that have got respiratory issues. Is it any worse than the flu system? the flu symptoms? I'm not too sure, because if you trace anyone that's elderly that's got the flu and you follow them through their process and you actually stick with them through their flu symptoms and then being taken to hospital and then ending up with pneumonia and on a ventilator, you'd go, this looks very similar. Their oxygen levels are low. Their fluids, they've got fluid on their lungs. They can't, their oxygen saturation levels ain't quite right. And you go, yeah, I can see similarities. Maybe it comes on a bit quicker or not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not medically trained and qualified, but is it just one individual, man or woman, that's passed away from definite 100% cancer and has been labelled and put down on a death certificate as COVID-19 tells me the whole system is fucking fraudulent. The whole system. Tarring them all with the same brush. The police, the government, Boris Johnson, Matt Hancock, the lot. Wicked, vile individuals. Because that's fraud. And that's not telling the truth. And we're told, God says, tell the truth, even if your voice shakes. Even if your voice trembles, speak the truth. So, just one. I don't care who it is. I don't care where it's happening. It could be me. I could have been lying dead on this floor here with cancer. They took me away. They wrote up a dodgy death certificate. Oh, we died of COVID. I could have gone down to Dover Cliffs and fallen off the edge of Dover Cliffs. They're scraping me off the bottom before the seagulls get me. Oh, obviously died of COVID, didn't he? It's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wicked system. There's no truth and trust in these public servants no more, I'm afraid. And I think they're now seeing that. Netherlands are writing. You bet they are. Not worn a mask from the start. Nor have I. I've not worn a mask. I won't bow to the beast. Not a chance. In all the systems controlling us, no one will question the order from above. It's that easy for them to control us. Yeah, we are an absolute controlled nation. I've been plastering today, and bless them, I see a couple come past. They must have been their 60s, early 70s. Both of them, man and wife, I presume. So they was holding tallywhackers. And they both got masks on, walking down the road. And I'm like, crikey. Oh, my word. If you're wearing a mask for a prolonged period of time, you're getting Legionella on your lungs. You're getting all sorts of bacteria that's flying back in. Your blood saturation levels are dropping. They're not good things. And they've clearly not worked. Because if you think that 100,000 people have died and everyone's worn masks, or 80% of the population wore masks, why has it gone up? It should have just gone down, right? Should have pretty much disappeared. But it hasn't. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Why? Because it's a boogeyman. It's like the IRA. We was all scared of the IRA. Didn't know when they was going to come next. And now they're government. Sinn Féin, government. How the fuck does that work? Terrorist organisation is a government. Sweet. Jerry Adams, all the others. I can't even remember their names. I mean, they become government because they force their way with guns and bullets to the table. Then the IRA sort of went a little bit quiet, and then we had ISIS pop up, and then we had weapons of mass destruction with Saddam Hussein, which were never. So there's always a boogeyman. And then when they can't get a war somewhere, what they do, they think up something tasty like H1N1 or SARS or Ebola, and all these things are lab tested. They all come out of laboratories, ladies and gentlemen. We're fucking guinea pigs to these people. Man, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And we're truth tellers. I'm a man of God. I'm a man of God in the scripture. I don't care. I will speak my truth. I don't care if it offends people. I don't care who gets up by hearing the truth. A lot of people can't handle the truth. They go la. They just put blinkers on. Little do they realise one day it could be them. Little do they realise it will be them one day. They don't realise. They don't realise that, oh, yeah, no, I ain't paying attention to him. No. Well, it'll be you one day. It will be you in one way, shape or form, having your house taken off you, your car, your kids. You're in hospital. They've just put a guy that my mate Toby's been looking after called Paul. He's had a problem. They've put him on a ventilator in one of the Kent hospitals. And he told them categorically, I am not going on a ventilator. Now, surely it's his right to say no. It's his God-given, unalienable right to say, no, I don't want to go on a ventilator. Just give me oxygen and I'll take my chances. I'll keep my fingers crossed. But oh no. They've got the people out with security and forced him out, and they've whacked him on a ventilator, and we're in the land of the gods now. We don't know. His wife can't even go and see him. His wife cannot go in and see him. Can you imagine Beth doing that with Marshall. When you get a little bit older, Marshall ends up in hospital, you end up in hospital, and either of you and the kids can't go and see each other. Is that not a travesty? Come on. Family and love, Matt, and joy. Surely to God. Let's get rid of these vicious, vile creatures, shall we? Shall we? It's about time we do. I'm going to speak my truth. I don't care what happens to me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to speak God's honest truth. And that's how it is. And I hope people will not put blinkers on and go la, 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 and listen to Cliff Richards as they're running down the bloody road on their roller skates, because it will affect you at some point. I never thought that the jackboots of 1984 would ever affect me, but they did. I felt them a couple of times, and we all sit there and wonder, how did that happen? How did these men and women in uniform just come bolting into my house? They're not allowed to. The ruined tenement says that they're not allowed to. The ruined tenement says that the king or queen's men can't cross your threshold. But here they are now. They own the fucking lot. They own your houses, your cars, your kids, the lot. It's communism. We are in a communistic country. And the Netherlands, they've had enough now. The Dutch, they've put down their wacky backy. They've stopped smoking the spliffs and pancakes for a few days. They're getting out on the streets. They're having it. We got the French. The French are having a go. The English just go, la, 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 dipsy, tipsy, and fucking dozy. The Teletubbies. That's all they do. Nah, I don't want to hear it, Dave. Well, fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just wait until you can't pay your council tax. Wait until you can't pay your mortgage. Wait and see what happens. Just wait. Just watch. Whoever give these bankers the right to own all of our stuff? Whoever give these people the right to turn us into a begging bowl nation? This is how Hitler come to power. This is how Adolf Hitler come to rise. He struggled, he strived. He got thrown about. He was in the First World War. I think he was a bit of a journalist. He see a bit of action. I'd like to see a bit of action. And he come to rise and come to power because he was speaking God's honest truth. So at the time, the people wanted to hear, because they were a broken nation. Their people were desolate. They had nothing. And a certain group of people took over their country and monopolized over them through their banking sector. So Adolf Hitler come to power. He wasn't a very popular man. He wasn't popular at all, but he come to power because he was saying the words that people wanted to hear through desperation. And he turned that country, whether you like it or not, he turned that country. He put the Rothschilds in prison. He's got his own chancery game, printed his own money, and he turned it into an Uber land within 5 years. Their motorways were fantastic. You could run a glass slipper down them. Everyone had cheap, affordable houses, cars, you name it. They have the lot. So please, can I please have some words? Sarah, what sort of words are you looking for, me darling? That's how Hitler come to power. And he tried to avoid war 3 or 4 times through declarations. We can get them up online. We can read Adolf Hitler's declaration. But then again, people don't want to hear the truth. They go, la, la, land. No, I ain't listening, Dave. I ain't listening. No, my family died in the war. No, I ain't listening. Fine. Don't listen. But it's the truth. Adolf Hitler tried to avoid war. And on the last declaration where he got ignored, he said, fine, I guess you'll get your war then. He never wanted to go to war. He wanted to protect his people and his country. Have you ever seen any videos of the people of Germany prior to the outbreak of war under Adolf Hitler? There was nothing they were going without. They was dancing all night long. The streets were lit up. The streets were uber clean, uber beautiful, uber love. There was no crime. One of the first laws he ever passed was the protection of animals. Now, all you animal lovers out there, you've seen cats with arrows and pellets in their head because our people of our country are now sick, narcissistic bastards. One of the first laws he ever passed was the end of vivisection and the end of animal cruelty. Anyone harming any animals, my good God, did you pay the price? And rightly so, because he was a creationalist. He believed in the Bible. Adolf Hitler was at the word of God. He was protecting his people. Anyway, it is what it is. And history now portrays it all in a rather untrue light. There was a documentary by a Jewish lad in the 1980s that went with a recording device and everything to Auschwitz, wherever it was, Arbeit mein Frei, or whatever them words are over the thing. And he got this woman the guide that was showing everyone around, he got her to admit that the Allies put these Cyclone B turrets in after the war and said that everyone got gassed. But where these Jewish people, bless them, were supposed to be gassed, they were bathing areas, they were basins, and because he told her, he said, "This ain't right," and she went, "Well, yeah, you are right. The Allies." Do you know what I mean? What is it all about? What's that? We had a little break. So, the greatest story never told. It breaks me out. I've got loads of family that passed away during the war. I've got loads of family that went to war and died, never come home. My dad's dad never come home from war, died out in Flanders. But it's all a crock of shit. We die for all these rich people that think they've got the right just to send us off. We're just a cannon fodder. So they've lied to us for years, people. They've lied to us for centuries. This goes back so long. So long. But fair play to this Jewish lad in the 1980s. He said, "What's that over there?" She said, "It's a swimming pool." "Oh, you got a swimming pool here?" "Oh, okay." Not as all as it seems, mate. The victors always write the spoils of war. They always do. Always do. I want to live in a country that bolsters its people, that stops lying to people. Everyone is so confused because they enter La La Land. They won't face the truth. It's easier to believe a lie than face and walk in the truth. So easy. It's so easier just to keep going, "Well, they leave me alone. I'll pay me council tax. They leave me alone. Yeah, no, they don't." Well, you're just putting off something that could really growl at you one day. Bearing in mind, this is all owned by God. Everything here, every atom, and nothing can be bought nor sold. That's why we've got the fiat currency, the fix it again tomorrow stuff that says, "I promise to pay." Well, if it's just a promise, I thought Dorothy made a promise. She had to click her heels 3 times and say there's no place like home. It's fiction. It's all just fiction. But yet they smash our back doors in for it. But we're all rather waking up now, ladies and gentlemen. Rather waking up. Check out Europa. That's it. Fantastic documentary. But people, again, will just go, "La, la, la, blinkers. No, I ain't listening." And then when they're getting dragged out of their cars and the coppers are kicking them in the head in the side of the road, they might think, how's this happening? I've seen so many people have their cars and that took off. I'm standing by the road and you can see them scratching their heads. They're like, I know this is happening, but how is this happening? And they can't figure it out. They just cannot, for the love of them, bless them, figure it out. They just don't know what they've done. And it's them. They've signed the contract. They've signed the DVLA logbook, they've signed the driver license, they've signed everything else. They've made all these graven images, and we give it all away. And but see, the deception and the deceiver never reveals how he's done things. The little subtle beast that roams around in the undergrowth he's a deceiver, and he never tells anyone that God's on his truth. And he's running scared right now. The dark are running scared because they know the light's coming. Look at the Netherlands. Look at what's going on around the world. Look how people are standing up and rising now. It's happening. It's here. The light workers are here. It's a matter of time before all this gets switched about, ladies and gentlemen, because we cannot, and the planet and God will not allow this to descend into complete darkness. Not a chance. Certainly not on our watch. Not a chance. So we have to stand strong. All right. Now, we're all confused, every single one of us. We don't know what's the right thing to do because all our opinions and our beliefs always get in the way and trip us up. You know, I can take people to the truth. It's like I've got horses. I've got 3 horses. I can take the horses to water, but I can't make them drink. They're not hungry or thirsty. They won't drink it. They drink it at their time. And that goes the same with everyone, man. We've got to really start paying attention. Jesus Jones, lovely to see you. Let's have a little roll call. We've got Charlie Drake in the room. We've got Caroline Georgina. Hello, darling. Trevor Good. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? I wonder what John Harris feels about things right now. Personally, I don't think John's dead. And between me and you and the gatepost, and I'll never reveal this, I think I found a profile that he's running on Facebook. But I ain't saying nothing. I just got a feeling that this profile belongs to John Harris, but I will keep it anonymous. And if any of you want to go and dig in and have a look for yourselves, you can do. But I've always felt and said to many people that I know that know John Harris, I don't feel John's dead. I really don't, because I paid attention to the things he said in his interviews and videos. He turned around and said that I don't like what I've created. Why he would say that, I don't know, whether he'd been lent on. But he said, I've got to commit internet suicide. And for me, I never forgot them words. So when he disappeared, I thought he's just gone and enjoyed his life somewhere, which is fine. I love him. He's a great dude. He really started something fantastic. He'd done something joyful. He wanted to free mankind, and he's a fantastic guy. I would suggest putting out while when they're drinking water. 95, Michelle Waterfall. Hello, darling. Kenneth Knoll, Gabriel Karan's in the room. Love it to see you, son. I would suggest putting out while when they're drinking water. Bosh. Agape says, hello, Dave. How are you, gorgeous? You all right? Having a nice time? So, yeah, I think the government in the next week or two are going to come under so much immense pressure. And let's be facing it, right? We're not too far away from 2 years off of this stuff. This started in 2019 in March, all right? So this is, and 70,000 homeless people, 70,000 families have been made homeless because of this. My goodness. My good God. What kind of a nation are we? We really need to get a grip of these criminals that are running the establishment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm brave enough to talk about it. I don't care. I stand in God's favour, right? I'll stand in God's word. I'll speak the truth, even if my voice trembles. I couldn't care less. I will stand in that word, right? Because that's a greater book and a greater mind of mine. And through the Spirit, it gives me the energy to do what I've got to do. I'm not scared. And I'm certainly not cowed. Not a chance. John Harris' book might be How He's Living, £6.66. Good book and interesting. Yeah, 666. 666 is the mark of man. It's the flesh. Same as John Lennon, destroying the Beatles and myths. He spent his life destroying the Beatles. John Lennon was good, man. That was sad what happened to her, but he was taken out. When you look back at that, Harvey J. Oswald, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, Dave. No, let's look at it. John Lennon was sat in bed with Yoko Ono while Tricky Dicky Nixon was being impeached. And the Vietnam War was really not going according to plan, and they had to bail out. And John Lennon sat in a bed with Yoko saying, peace, man, peace, make peace. And he had people out there delivering flyers and getting messages out. John Lennon was really ramping up the ante. Next thing you know, he's got a bullet in his head. Mark Chapman actually shot Mark Chapman. Mark Chapman shot John Lennon. Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK. So whenever you get anyone that sticks their head above the parapet like that, that's in the public eye, they get took out. It's convenient. So easy. You just shoot them in the head and you pay someone to do it. How easy is that, eh, Bosh? Dave and Cilla Black, I reckon, was taken out. Cilla Black, God bless her, I couldn't stand that show. You're right, Chuck. Where are you from? Tell me what your name is. Where you from? Oh, what was it? Matchmakers, or what was it called? Where she tried to get people all to get together and have a little bit of Radjafather, didn't she? Oh, my God, that's it. I couldn't watch it. New Servant King. Yes, New Servant King. Servant King's fantastic, man. That will give you the keys to reveal to how you got to free yourselves, guys. And look, I've got many people now doing this. Blind Date, that was it. God, I couldn't watch it. I used to have to shoot the TV when that come on with the double barrel. Give it some of that, man. Just a joke. Charlie Drake says, give peace a chance. Yeah, great tune. John Lennon, I used to like John Lennon. And in fact, about 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago, I used to talk through Messenger to Julian Lennon quite a bit. Yeah, so Julian Lennon is quite wakey. If you ever go and study what Julian Lennon gets up to, he's a very awake individual. And he just wants a decent world. Remember that song, Saltwater? Has Marcus put new videos out? I don't think so, mate. Shite TV and keep stupid busy. There you go. There you go. And this is why I am so pleased that people have now tuned in and started to go alternative media. Wherever you go, on a tube, train, an airplane, everyone's on their iPads, everyone's on their phones, everyone's on the Twitters, the social medias, the parlors, all these different platforms. And it's a fantastic thing. People generally don't watch the BBC News anymore. And the BBC have already said, we're not going to be putting the 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock news out because it's a waste of time. And people have boycotted the BBC and stopped funding them. That's a mass exodus. That was one of the biggest and finest, apparently, establishments that we're proud of. Oh, we're proud of the BBC. Oh, Auntie. Even Noel Edmonds ripped the shit out of Auntie a few years ago. He said Auntie's put boxing gloves on. And he weren't lying. Auntie certainly. Well, no, I've got to go and sort my fire out. Hang on a sec. Come with me. Auntie certainly put boxing gloves on. For sure it did. And Noel was like, I'm not happy with it. And then whoever was interviewing him, I think Philip Schofield and Ollie Willoughby, but they had to cut. They went, cut this. Get it off. Do you know what I mean? Hang on, just come with me to the log burner, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely to see you this afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. I don't want it going out because I've not long lit it. I've not long been home. So, yeah, you know, we're in interesting times, ladies and gentlemen. For sure we are. But I just want everyone to come together now. I don't want people to be divided and separated. I want them all to be coming from one sort of, not element, but one direction. And that's not the group either, because we are just one family, man. We really are. Hang on, we are just one family, and we should all be living in that energy. But we've been so divided. My God, that's why the government are raping us and smashing us all about, because we're so divided. You will never, even if you're on a train, a bus, you're on an airplane, you'll never get an agreement with anyone about, oh, have you seen what they're doing in France? Oh, yes, disgrace it. You'll never get into an agreement. No one will agree with you on anything anymore. No one, because we're so far from the truth, we're blinded. We are so far from the truth, it's unbelievable. But thankfully, more and more people are now seeing the pitfalls of these wicked bankers and wicked government. And will you adopt me? Yeah, do you want to come and live here, Misha? How old are you, darling? Carol, Georgina, I love Clint Eastwood. I ain't had a shave for a few days. I think I need. Do I need to have a shave? I think I do, don't I? I'm rewatching the ones he has out back about 5 years ago. Yeah, they're brilliant. The Unraveling program, number 14. That's where the peas and carrots are. It gives you what we've all got to do to come out of this system. We've got to do it. Watching that stupid tipping point, it looks like the contestant is in hell with a fire in the background and a red star is Lucifer. Maybe, yeah, it is. She's 21, Dave. Who's 21? Michelle. How do you know Michelle, Trev? I'll adopt you, Michelle. Where are you from, darling? I'm not Cilla Black, by the way. Whereabouts in the country are? I don't know if you've told me already. I'm a bit like a goldfish. My memory, is 30 seconds long. I'll get so many people coming at me now, messaging me. It's fantastic. We're living in exciting times, man. Wish I had a log burner. Yeah, it's good. It's very good. It's a lovely bit of heat from a log burner. Yeah. So Jesus Jones has said, Michelle, I'll adopt you. And Jesus Jones is an awesome dude. So you're in safe hands. Wish I had a log burner, Michelle. Haha, I can identify as 14. Oh, yeah. I mean, people is people. We are absolutely in crazy town. But whilst we're all divided and they're conquering, we're being smashed to granny out. The government is absolutely laughing at us, laughing its backside off at us. But I think now people have had enough. I think the time's changing. I think Boris has got no choice but to end this. There's so many people, because he's just like, masks certainly haven't worked. Lockdowns haven't worked. All the businesses, suicide, the deaths, people not being able to get treated in the national health. It's an abomination. And once was a country that took great pride and passion for looking out and looking after one another, has all become about control. Everything's about control. The minute you're in the hospital, you're under their control. That's why this man, Paul, is now on a ventilator and his family can't go and see him, because it's all about control. It's not about doing things in joy and love no more. It's just so wrong. So wrong there, man. Oh, anyway, it's another day, another story, but we're going to have to see what happens. Research, Robert David Steele, research, Melco. Why are the police out finding people today? I've seen 2 police motors out today doing speed camera checks. What are they doing? Why are they out there? Why are they mugging everyone off when there's a pandemic on? Why is no one's earning no money? I'm lucky. I've cracked on as I was. I went all the way through right from the beginning. When did I start work? 16, 17. I think the RA was out doing a bit tasty stuff back then. Then we had the war of Saddam Hussein in 1999, I do believe, whenever. I took no notice of that. Carried on regardless. Then you had SARS, Ebola, all the other things come along. I took no notice of that. We attacked Afghanistan. I'll give two fingers to that. All these other illnesses and diseases have come along. I've taken no notice of that. And now we're in this current climate, this current time period. And with respect and reverence to everybody, I've taken no fucking notice of that either. Why? Because if I'm in fear and worrying about all that's going on, I'm not living my life. And God said, come and live your life to the full, man. And just deal with whatever happens in your life at that time. You know, deal with it in the moment. But we're all, can't go out. Oh, you can't. And the masks ain't worked, have they? They've not worked. They've not worked. And Boris must be just pulling his hair out. And they're all attacking him. All these ministers are attacking him. You know, we should have done more. What can they do? They're just men and women in fucking suits. They're not gods. They don't have a magic crystal ball, ladies and gentlemen. They're as confused in the world as we all are. But we worship false idols, and we've worshipped them for far too long and give them far too much credence. We really have. The pubs have all shut down. All the pubs, clubs, it's all shut down. Gyms and so it's all shut down. All shut down, and families are going without now. Kids ain't feeding. Kids ain't getting food. Mum and dad are struggling. You know, they're having their houses repossessed. For what? For a fucking boogeyman. For something that might get you. For something that most people that get it that are of a decent health, 99.7% survival rate. I mean, it's only killing the weak and infallible ones, the old ones, like the flu does anyway. And it'll get me one day, I'm sure. The flu will turn into pneumonia and it'll probably get me one day. Do I care? Couldn't give a fuck. Couldn't care. I couldn't care less, because that's just how life is. And we should just be dealing with stuff as we go through. We need a government and a country that bolsters and supports people and makes their life better and doesn't hinder them. And we have that right now. We have one that there is a virus. There's something out there. To say that there isn't and that people ain't getting hurt, there are. But is it any different from the flu season? I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. We have 20 to 40,000 a year die of the flu. No one has issue fit about that. No one shuts all this stuff down, do they? No one does. But the media have dribbled it all out, and everyone at home shit their pants and just gone, oh my God, they've not looked at the bigger picture. We don't have the flu no more. Hallelujah, the flu's disappeared. No one gets the, oh, you can't have the flu, you must have COVID. People will impress upon you that if you're coughing up phlegm and you come out of a notion that you've got the flu, you must be delirious because you've obviously got COVID. They just whatever Boris spurts out on that black box, people believe 100%. They don't ever challenge it. They go into la la land. Oh, they wouldn't lie to us. Our government wouldn't lie to us. They care about us. They love us. Only a fool would believe that. Only truly a fool would believe that government are there to help us. They're not. They're there to smash us. And their take has blinded them so badly. They're just greedy mofos. We know we've got a company out there called Acro. It's like something that props a house up. ACRO. Out there giving out COVID fines of £200, £500, £1,000, £10,000. And guess who owns this company? You got it. The police. 2 chief constables and quite a few officers own this company called Acro. Oh, deep joy. We are being fucked by our own servants. Sweet. What a gig. Dave, UK column showed a chart. No more deeds. This to 1970. Trev, I'm not too sure what you're chatting on about there, my love. But I will get to the bottom of it. Singer was timed out by Trevor. Who's Susie Singer's giving it a bit of large, is she? Susie Singer, my admin's all over you, darling. Bless your heart. If you want to come in and be nice, come in and be nice. Let's have a look what Charlie Drake's saying. Just another strain of the flu, and it's been blown out of proportions to cover the economic. Of course, they've collapsed everything. When before? Do you think we collapsed the economy back when we had the plague? Whatever economy it was back then, Groats, was it Groats or some sort of slave token? Do you think they crashed everything back then? No way. People couldn't have afforded to. They didn't have nothing anyway. They had to continue regardless. They had no choice. But now you get a splinter now. Your kid gets a splinter. Fuck me, get him up to the hospital quick. Panic attacks. Get an ambulance out. Because we're all snowflakes. The whole country's just gone lula. Back then, people were hardy. People done, women got pregnant and had their own abortions at home. They'd have a bottle of gin, and then they come around with the flipping knitting needles, and some of them made it and some of them died. But it's just how people got on. They were hardcore. They kept and tried to keep their own private affairs private. And don't forget, the National Health Net Service never come in, I think, to the 50s when Bevan created it. It's supposed to be free at the point of delivery. And it's been abused. The bureaucrats that have got hold of that have smashed the granny out of it. The people at the eye level that own and control the National Health, as far as I'm concerned, they want putting in prison. They want putting in prison for treason, because they've acted treasonously, because they've profited from something that shouldn't have been profitable. The National Health should never have been a profitable thing. Should never have been about money. Never. It should have been about care and loving people and making sure they're all right. But now, we can't have that drug. It's so expensive. Hang on. What, a bag of chemo, $8,000. Come on now. Come on. It's got to stop. And if it don't stop, it's just going to end in destruction. This whole country is just going to end up in a pile of ash. And the rich will have completely raped and pillaged all through all of it. And you'll just be absolute beggars forever. Now, when I consider my humble roots of council estate boy, mum and dad had nothing to where I am today. I'm obviously here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I should have died quite a few years ago, but I'm still here. So the good Lord gave me a second chance and went, go back and speak your truth. There's a new time period coming, and it's going to be good. Everything I talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is for the good. It's for the joy. It's not for anything nasty, wicked, dark, or devious. I'm a righteous man. I try my hardest to be righteous, and it doesn't always work. But I do try my hardest to look out for people and just, show them that the pitfalls and the traps that this system lays out before us. And I don't want that for my country. I don't want it for the people. I want a government of people, by the people, for the people, not for the corporations, for just maximum profit. That's disgusting. It's evil. That's a wicked system. And we've allowed it to happen. And we have to look in the mirror. People say to me, well, we're brave. I said, no, look in the mirror. We all need to be brave and look in the mirror, because in the mirror is the problem. We've all allowed this to happen, and we got to stop it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been here 42 minutes. I'm going to go and have a shower, okay? And I've got plaster dust in me, and that's a nasty feeling, let me tell you. So, I'm a hardcore individual. I'm someone that will plough on until someone takes my breath away from me. I'm not interested and worried about what's going to happen tomorrow or what's in the newspapers. I think I've bought 5 newspapers in my entire life. And when the news comes on, I turn it off, because I can't stand the drivel. And I would suggest that if you want to come back to joy, that you turn off the TV, you turn off the radio, you stop buying newspapers, and guess what? All of a sudden, you're going to start be feeling really good about yourself, because you're not taking in all that nonsense. And it is just a nonsense. The world of the public domain is la la land. It's fictional. It's not real. So they can stick the vaccine where the sun don't shine, says Carol. I agree with you. They're not coming near me with that stuff. Same thing happened, Trev, to me a while back. Looked like gremlins again. God bless your noisy Tone. Lovely to see you, Tone. Hope you're doing all right, mate. Hope the weather's all right where you are, and that you're chilling in the hood and having a nice time. I don't know if you've seen Niall. How is he? Is he doing all right? Gorgeous, man. You're gorgeous, Tone. Love it to pieces, mate. I really do love it to bits. You are one of God's gifted children. No other way about it. No other way about it. That's what you are, and you all are. All of you that pop in here. Individual just got to say f off to the billocks of this crap. My mate's just been turfed out the farm shop today. He's gone down there without a mask, and he said, "No, my staff don't want it. You're not allowed in." So he said, "Well, I don't want to prosecute you, but I might have to." Rose Green, funny enough, she's an Indian woman. I don't know what I think she's Sikh, actually. She reminds me she's either Sikh or Hindu. She is amazing. Amazing. She's up the Midlands way somewhere. She went into Aldi's, I think, to get some bits and bobs. And this manager and the security guard start coming on top. But she handled it like sublimely well, telling them that she loved them and she was grateful for them. And then she got out because there's a guy called David Simpson on Facebook that's doing these cards, which has got the disabilities discrimination thing on it. And after a little bit of toing and froing, she just got it out. She said, "Look, Mark, you need to read this before you throw me out the store." And you know, she said, "Because my right to breathe fresh air is none of your business and it's none of your concern." She said, "How much have you got in the bank?" And he said, "Well, that's private." She said, "Same as my lungs is private. It's nothing to do with you." So he took this little slippy card and he went out the back and he'd done a quick search and he come back and he went, "Thanks, sweetheart. Go and do your shopping." Simple. Play the game, people. Play the game. Print off. Get that. Because it works. Find someone the other day $7,000. This company got fined £7,000 for discrimination. We can't discriminate. And we've got a lot of people that are being challenged on not wearing a mask. Well, what if you were smothered as a kid? What if you was raped as a kid? That's going to bring back all that tremor. And I watched a Welsh girl the other week sat in her car crying her eyes out. She got a lanyard round her neck and she got challenged and she was palpitating. She couldn't even get her breath back. And I'm thinking, who's out there protecting the weak people? Who's out there protecting the people that are too scared to say boo to a goose? Because they're being trampled over. And that's what government is. Government, the definition of terrorism in the dictionary is government of intimidation. And that's what we have right now. And I just hope and pray that more and more people see it. I really do. So Anna Breeze, she's gone quiet. I think she's done enough. Gorgeous woman. Pretty, isn't she? Anna Breeze, former BBC ITV presenter. Sweetheart, let me tell you. She's gone quiet. She's been deplatformed. So, but she's done what she's had to do. And God bless her. She put all of her career at risk. You know, all these other media outlets probably won't touch her with a barge pole now because she's made a stand. But make a stand, she's done. And God bless her for it. You have to put your rod in the ground, ladies and gentlemen, and fucking smack it in the ground. And say, right, as of today, bosh. Because if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. It's true enough, isn't it? Operating fears have to have oxygen and air pumped into the room because of the mask wearing. There you go. It's, you know, we've got to have it. So that little card, if you go and find David Simpson on his good-looking guy with glasses, wears a Peaky Blinder cap. He's doing these cards. He said if you can't pay, send it. But if you can make a donation, it helps him out because obviously he's printing them all off himself and laminating them and all that. He's sending them out and he's paying for it all as well. So give the geezer a couple of quid for it because let me tell you, you can have an opinion all you like. You can go and say, I'm not wearing a mask. So you've got to wear a mask. You just put that in front of them and they go, oh, it's the law. Because they love their legislation. They love their legislation. Legislation and legal is the undoing of God's law. Don't know if you know that. But anyway, I'm off. Thanks for tuning in today. David Rose's, Rose Green, her name is, Indian woman, fantastic super soul. And she says, listen, this ain't about kicking these people in the bits. It's about showing them love and joy and show them. Tell them you love them. Tell these security guards, this big, bald security guard with his mask on, tell him you love him, man. Watch how they open up to you. They go, oh, because you're not bringing that shit negative energy, are you? You're really not. Dave Simpson. Yeah, Dave Simpson on Facebook. He's doing these cards. He just put a video out the other day saying if anyone wants them, don't care where you are, let me know and I'll print them off for you and send them down. So, yeah, he's really, really good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll come back to you later on in the week. Stay blessed, stay safe. Let's hope this nonsense and crazy time is over very soon. Let's hope that everything opens back up. Listen, life is a gamble. From the minute you exit your mother's womb, you are not guaranteed one single second in this existence. You are here by the grace of the Almighty. And when He wants you to go home, you're going home. All right. So it don't matter what you get, where you are. If you're destined to get over it, you'll get over it. If you're destined to go home, you'll go home. But He didn't put you into this existence to live in fear. He didn't put you into this existence to be a slave. He put you here to be free. All right. Because He gets great joy from seeing you enjoy your life and persevere through all the trials and tribulations that the devil has to throw at you. He delights when you call on Him and say, I'm not having this. I'm going to live in the law of God. And he delights in it. He chuckles. He thinks it's really funny because the dark was put here to turn you away from the Creator. And some of us have never forgotten our Creator and never will forget our Creator. And we are all created. Say, well, my mum and dad created me. Yeah, well, we created your mum and dad. And then you keep going back and going back and back. So, this thing about evolution, it's a load of nonsense. The only one that created all of this, all the animals, the heavens, the earth, is the Creator. Not Darwin. Darwin's a load of bullshit. And it's easily... The theory of evolution is just so easily dismissed. It's unbelievable. There's only one intelligent creator that created everything, and He spake it into existence. He said He spoke it into existence. So it's up to you if you want to go and learn the law. The Bible is the law. It is the God's honest truth. I live by it, and I've seen miracles since I've been in that energy and that love. And I feel absolutely fandabby-dozy. And even if I'm out there doing this and that and I catch something and I die, so be it. That's the will of God. Take care. Love you all, people. Stay strong. We are these people, these Isles, we're very strong people. Don't let these people get you down. Their time is short. Ours is everlasting. Take care, people. Love every single one of you. Stay in joy.